Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon to all of audience. My name is Meliza from Pekalongan University, and at this moment I would like to present my article. The title of my article is The Impact of Fintech Peer-to-Peer Lending and E-Money Transaction on Economic Growth, the Moderating Role of Inflation. According to Ministry of Trade of Indonesia, the GDP of Indonesia increased from 2,684,445 in billion rupiah in the first quarter of 2021 to 3,139,084 in billion rupiah in the fourth quarter of 2023. According to Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, the distribution of loan funds through fintech peer-to-peer lending had increased from 9,384 in billion rupiah in January 2021 to 22,574 in billion rupiah in December 2023. According to Bank Indonesia, the volume of e-money transaction also increased from 1,127,673 in 2021 to 1,609 and 944 in December 2023. The development of digital technology and the ease of using electronic transactions are factors in the increasing volume of e-money transactions. The existence of inflation could possibly increase loan interest rates, which will have an impact on reducing the number of requests for loans through peer-to-peer lending. Furthermore, the existence of inflation can also reduce people's purchasing power and have an impact on decreasing GDP as an indicator of economic growth. Many previous studies discussed about the influence of fintech peer-to-peer lending on economic growth, such as Fatmawati 2020, Maulana and Miharno 2022, Wajuba et al. 2021, Paylaha et al. 2023. Furthermore, impact of e-money transaction on economic growth also had been discussed by previous researchers, such as Sagala 2024, Sitompul 2022, Wijaya 2021, and Ismanda 2020. However, this study generated different results. There is a possibility that there are microeconomic variables that affect the influence of fintech peer-to-peer lending and e-money transaction on economic growth. Therefore, this study used inflation as moderating variable that can possibly strengthen or weaken the impact of fintech peer-to-peer lending and e-money transaction on economic growth. This study applies two theories. Okay. The first theory is theory of innovation diffusion. Okay. The theory of innovation diffusion is used to explain the impact of peer-to-peer lending and e-money transaction on economic growth. This theory explains how an innovation is adopted and communicated through certain channels within members of social system over a certain period of time. Moreover, the role of inflation as moderating variable is explained by Fisher theory. This theory describes the relationship between money supply and inflation. This research used monthly data from 2021 to 2023. The data consists of total loan distributed by fintech lending companies in Indonesia, volume of e-money transaction, GDP, and inflation. This research used two independent variables that consist of fintech lending and e-money transaction. Fintech lending is measured by the total of lending that have been distributed by fintech companies in Indonesia. Moreover, e-money transaction is estimated by volume of electronic transaction. On the other hand, economic growth is applied as dependent variable. This variable is estimated by gross domestic product. Furthermore, this research applies inflation as moderator variable. This research applied multiple regression analysis using random effect model in estimating the impact of fintech peer-to-peer lending and e-money transaction on economic growth. Random effect model is also used for examining the role of inflation as moderating variable. And this research employs two regression models. The first regression model estimates the impact of fintech peer-to-peer lending and e-money transaction on economic growth. The second regression model estimates the role of inflation as moderator. Furthermore, this research employs also normality tests using several wheels, variance inflation factor to detect the multicollinearity problem, Bruce-Pagan tests to identify the existence of heteroscedasticity problem. Langmuir multiplier test is used to testing the better model between OLS and random effect model, and Hausman test is also employed to identify the better regression model between random effect model and fixed effect model. The result of the first regression analysis show that all variables have normal distribution. The variance inflation factor of all variables are lower than 10. These results show that there is no multicollinearity problems in the first regression model. Moreover, the value of Bruce-Pagan test is about 0.708. This value also indicates that there is no heteroscedasticity problem in the first regression model. Furthermore, Langmuir multiplier test is 0.000. These values show that random effect model is better to be applied than ordinary least square model. In addition, Hausman test value is about 0.882. This value indicates that random effect model is better to be applied than fixed effect model. Now, table 2 shows the result of the first regression analysis. According to this table, fintech lending has coefficient value about 28.49 and the z-statistic value about 55.47. This value is significant at 1%. Moreover, e-money transaction has coefficient value about 0.146 and the z-statistic value is about 8.03. Similar to fintech lending, this value also significant at 1%. These regression results show that also both fintech lending and e-money transaction has positive and significant impact on economic growth. The result of the second regression model show that all variables also have normal distribution. The variance inflation factor of all variables are lower than 10. This result also show that there is no multicollinearity problems in this regression model. Moreover, the value of Bruce-Pagan test is about 0.987, or this result indicate that there is no heteroscedasticity problem in the second regression model. Furthermore, Langmuir multiplier test is 0.00. This result also show that random effect model is better to be applied than ordinary least square. In addition, Hausman test value is about 0.743. This value means that random effect model is better to be applied than fixed effect model. Now we see the result in the table 3. Table 3 presents the result of the second regression model which applies inflation as moderator variable. Inflation as moderator variable has a negative but insignificant impact on economic growth. The coefficient value is 5.591848 and the z-statistic is 1.35. Interaction between fintech lending and inflation is negative and significant at 10%. The coefficient value is about minus 2.37 e plus 0.7 and the z statistic value is about minus 176. In addition, the interaction between e-money transaction and inflation generate positive impact, and this impact is significant at 10%. The coefficient value of interaction is 2.408 plus 0.7, while this statistic value is about 1.78. The result in Table 2 show that fintech peer-to-peer lending has positive and significant impact on economic growth. These results mean that increase in number of funds distributed by fintech peer-to-peer lending companies will increase economic growth. Moreover, Table 2 presents also that e-money transaction has positive and significant impact on economic growth. The increasing volume of electronic money transaction also allow for faster, more efficient transaction, reducing administrative costs, time, and the risk of errors in the payment process. This condition has an impact on accelerating the flow of funds in the economic system and ultimately increasing economic growth. Results of analysis also show that inflation can weaken the relationship between fintech peer-to-peer lending and economic growth. Increase in inflation will increase the interest rate and decrease the demand for financing funds from peer-to-peer lending. Moreover, inflation can enhance the relationship between e-money transaction and economic growth. Electronic transaction can affect the amount of money in circulation. The existence of inflation can increase transaction costs. This causes people to reduce the use of cash and switch to electronic transaction to reduce transaction costs. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much for listening my presentation.